Already! Hey!
Oh, I
Okay.
hope that didn't work out.
Well, yeah, he's having a minor glitch there. Anyways, let's transition. And welcome to our special Thanksgiving / Friday episode of Video Game Talk. Anyways,
I'm here too.
yeah, oh yeah, by the way, special guest Jackie, who is, of course, as you know, often in these videos, but this is her first time appearing here in Video Game Talk because she has things to say about some of her favorite Thanksgiving video game memories. Isn't that right, Jackie?
Video game memories?
Video game memories. What games are you most thankful for, and what are we thankful for as gamers here on Thanksgiving?
I only prepared for what I'm thankful for, and Thanksgiving Black Friday sales for games. I was not prepared for my thankful memories. So that'll be just like flying fast and loose with that one. But I'm ready with everything else.
Cool. Well, then that's what we'll do. All right. So, anyways, yeah. So there wasn't a whole lot of like new games coming out this week. Of course, holidays and all. There have been, of course, many games, new and old, are new that have come out this month and that will come out next month. But what we're going to talk today is exactly what I said. What games we're thankful for, and most importantly of all, we're going to tell you our suggestions for what we think you should get on Black Friday, because on Black Friday everything's going to be on sale a little bit, and some games are going to be on sale a lot. So we're going to tell you a little bit about that. As usual, you guys are welcome to talk to each other in the chat section. But we will be getting to your live questions. We'll save the last 15 or 20 minutes at the end of the video to answer your live questions. If you are absolutely dying to ask us a question, if you super chat it, we might be implored to answer it. So just keep that in mind, because we're going to be talking about a lot of fun stuff here today. And anyways, welcome to Video Game Talk. I'm Rich Alvarez. This is Jackie.
I'm Jax Alvarez. Garrett's here too.
I'm Garrett.
That's Garrett. That way. He if he looks a little laggy, it's because he's in here through Skype, as we do sometimes. But
yes, I'm not here for real. I am not. This is the modern miracles of technology that allow me to exist within this space.
Imaginary right here. It's imaginary.
Yes.
Imaginary.
No, I'm very much a real person. My presence here is somewhat indirect.
Yeah. All right.
Take from that what you will.
Woo!
Are we allowed to say hi to the chat?
You can say hi to the chat real quick, Jackie.
Alright. Hi, chat. I see you.
All right. So anyways, welcome to Thanksgiving, or at least where we are, it's going to be Thanksgiving in about 6.5-ish hours. Although I've already had one Thanksgiving dinner, and tomorrow we're having another Thanksgiving dinner because,
geez, I have had none yet.
We have two different families, of course. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what we are thankful for. And these are really just going to be kind of like our favorite games, first of all. I'm super thankful. We'll each take a turn, so I'll do one, Gary will do one, Jack will do one, and we'll keep going. I'm super thankful for, of course, Chrono Trigger. Why? Because without Chrono Trigger, we might not have popular RPGs in America. Now, let me define. Of course, RPGs have always been a part of American culture, especially since Dungeons and Dragons, tabletop, and there were American RPGs. But Chrono Trigger, a JRPG, came to America. It was popular worldwide and really spread the idea of the role-playing game, video game. And of course, even after Chrono Trigger, American RPGs eventually became more popular too. And I think we've talked all kinds about how KOTOR later, of course, popularized the American specific RPG. But I'm super thankful for Chrono Trigger. Garrett, your turn.
Now you just want me to just rail one out with no particular order or anything?
No, just go ahead.
Okay. I don't know. Do I want to start with like my big one? But I would say, you know what? I am thankful for Cuphead.
Cuphead.
And I know that Jackie probably wanted to say this one, and I invite you to capitalize on it after the fact. So I won't speak. I am just so taken in by the majesty of the animation process that is Cuphead. And I am so in love with the arduous care that obviously went into producing that game and what it has become. And I am thankful for games as a whole that try so hard to do something wildly different to stick out. Cuphead being kind of like the big example of recent memory.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jackie, what are you thankful for?
Well, when you said have my top 5 what I'm thankful for, I didn't realize it was video games.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, family, friends, fans,
she was thinking
cats.
of actually important
But
things.
I can also make this up as I go. Besides Cuphead is great. I don't... Camera... Why does it say camera?
That's just, Garrett's
face.
his window.
All right. Well, that being said, Cuphead's great. Other direction, Garrett. I'm over here.
Oh, are you over here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
That depends on how Rick loaded me into the software. Woo! I'm an amorphous artificial intelligence.
So, besides Cuphead, I can gush on about the hand-drawn animation, the completely classic 1930s style. I could gush on about Cuphead all day, and I'm sure that you guys know what I think about Cuphead because I've said it in many streams. But I'm going to go back to young Jackster Jax. And back when I was playing Frogger, I was playing a lot of Frogger when I was little. And so I am definitely thankful for the classic games on the arcade, like Frogger and Pac-Man and Asteroids and Cubert and Centipede and those ones.
Okay.
But mostly Frogger.
I was going to go ahead and say that I'm also thankful for Final Fantasy VI, but I feel like I'm thankful for that for the exact same reasons I'm thankful for Chrono Trigger. So I am going to say that I am thankful for the Nintendo Switch, because this 2017 in video games was definitely the year of the Switch. Nintendo, this is probably, in my opinion, their best console since the GameCube, as far as, expectations and content, and really they've just nailed this, they just knocked this right out of the park. And the Switch has really yet to disappoint me, and I'm, with everything going on, we've got all this great stuff, Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Skyrim, and I can't wait for 2018 because I know a lot of other great Switch games are coming. And yeah, so the Nintendo Switch is my number 2. Garrett?
Oh, that was my number 2.
Oh boy. Well, you know what? Just because you said the Switch, I think I'll capitalize on that to say the kind of the piece of hardware that I listed my thankfulness for. And that is my HTC Vive! This guy! And they know, of course, the headset and all the other stuff and whatnot. I consider myself super blessed to be able to own a VR and, have my own house that I can set it up in and go through all the arduous processes of actually kind of owning and maintaining one. Because VR is such an incredible way to experience video games. I understand it is, kind of some things there are different things to different people and whatnot. And the technology has a lot of room to grow as far until it can really be accessible to the average user. But in the meantime, we are on the cusp of something really great. We are on the cusp of something really cool. And I just think it's so neat that I get to, own an early adaptation version of this and kind of participate in the dawn of virtual reality gaming.
Awesome. Jackie, your next thankfulness?
Well, I know that Richie's going to have my number 3, and he already said my number 2, which was Switch.
So you could say my 3. It's fine.
No, it's okay. I'll let you say it, and I'm going to say one that I have a feeling nobody else is going to have, which was The Sims. And I know not lately with The Sims, after EA has taken advantage of all that, when it was the Maxis branding, and it started as The Sims. We Little Jacks really love The Sims. I've gone through all of the series from 1 until 4. And that's where we're at, right? Yeah, we're on Sims 4. Anyway,
Sims 2. Do you think it peaked in Sims 2?
I think it peaked in Sims 2, but Sims 3 I enjoyed the most, besides the fact that it was going on with that EA's clutches of
it was it was pretty DLC heavy for sure. But
the DLC. Now
3 was dope. 3 was
number
good.
4 has been super evident of that DLC heaviness, where you're getting things that you even had in 3 for free with the base game in expansions. And so I'm not.
But anyway,
we're
thankful for things.
I'm not thankful for EA, just The Sims. It started a really great simulation
Sims.
world. I love The Sims.
All right, so I'm thankful for. I was gonna say Skyrim, and then I was gonna say Fallout New Vegas. I think I'm just thankful for Bethesda overall and just everything that they do. Whether it be
Holly is playing New Vegas in the other room as we speak.
Good,
Awesome. Good. Love New Vegas. Did she get the sprint mod? Gotta get that sprint mod.
Nope, she did not.
Oh well, it's still good.
She's playing slow.
I was gonna say she's playing fast and loose without that sprint mod, but it's quite the opposite.
No.
It's quite the opposite. It's quite slow and arduous.
I said that earlier, so then you chose to say the same thing. Richie does that sometimes.
All right, so yeah, Bethesda's all good, and a lot of things we're talking about Skyrim, Bethesda. We'll be talking about in our Black Friday talk in just a minute. I'm just gonna say my last thankful thing, and then you guys can close out this. Whoa, what's going on over there, Garrett?
Sorry, I tried to bring up the stream on my phone, and it decided to blast me with an ad. So we're good.
We're wild with those ads.
We're
Guys,
wild with
feel
those ads.
free to put in the chat what games you're thankful for. Because I don't have any more after this. So
I got a few more. I thought we did 5.
Shout out some things, and I'll be like, oh, I'll take that too.
Oh, you're done? That was all the things you're thankful for?
Yeah, because I was thankful for cats and for my
thankful
family.
for cats. Okay.
And
Well, the last thing I want to
Thankful
say is that I'm thankful for Star Wars anything. Star Wars movies, Star Wars video games, all things Star Wars. I'm just thankful for Star Wars.
I know you haven't had much chance to play Battlefront because of obviously your absolutely insane editing schedule for Legacy.
Yeah, we'll get to that a little bit later as well.
I'm fairly certain you did get Battlefront for your birthday.
I did. What I have played of Battlefront, of course, is awesome, but I have not gotten into it as much as I'd like to, and definitely not as much. I hope by the time I'm ready to do online play, you guys are still playing, so that I have people to play with.
Play with you. I beat the campaign today.
Oh, nice.
What did you think overall of the campaign?
I liked the campaign, though. I will just go ahead and say it ends on a cliffhanger, and I don't want to talk about it too much more because you guys need to play it first.
Okay.
And then we'll go into a dissertation as far as the potentially massive consequences it has for the Star Wars canon.
Ooh, okay. All right. Now it's Garrett's turn. Garrett, why don't you just give a couple more things you're thankful for? Top 2 things you're thankful for.
Just blaze through the list.
Blaze through it.
I'll do 2 more. I am thankful for Rocket League because Rocket League demonstrates that you don't have to have a complex game in order to have an unbelievable amount of fun with your friends. And that is super duper fun.
I thought it was.
Super appreciate. What is going on? I super duper appreciate Rocket League for its simplicity and for its accessibility to all folks. Second of all, and most importantly of all, I am appreciative of StarCraft Brood War. Brood War, the greatest video game of all time in my eyes. Fight me, Richie.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. StarCraft Brood War card for me was really the game that put Blizzard on the map for me. It was the game that instilled. I mean, I had played video games before Brood War, but Brood War was the one that showed me, or kind of instilled in me that competitive gamer spirit, and really compelled me to be good at something. I mean, my time that I've spent grinding out Brood War in early high school are still a skill set I have. I still find that I can pick up Brood War these days and be okay at it. So that's that laid a lasting impression and whatnot. Honorable mentions to XCOM 2 for its the really interesting social life that has taken on in my life. And then Alien Isolation for what being what I consider to be the scariest game I've played. So,
all right.
I saw Misha in the chat, and he was playing XCOM recently. That's the game he's playing, right?
He's
oh yeah, no one
has all of us.
No one plays XCOM than me, Kyle. No one plays more XCOM than me, Kyle. That guy's incredible at that game.
Hi, Mish.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I won't really dispute that. I mean, about Brood War, it's pretty good. I mean, that was pretty much the beginning of BattleNet for me. And just tons of good times on there, like Sunken Defense, NR20, everyone. All right, so just so many good times. All right, so now we're gonna move on to our second part of.
Wait.
of this chat of the stream.
Fun fact.
What fun fact?
Is there's turkey in my eyes because my eyes have a little bit of green in them.
Oh.
So the green screen's picking up on my eyes, and so I just have like pupils of turkey.
Oh, you got turkey-colored eyeballs, girl.
I'm dreaming of turkey.
What do you guys think of my festive Thanksgiving background?
I like it.
All right,
It's
so
very good.
now we're moving on to the second part of our stream today, and that, of course, is why many of you are here, because that's what I titled the video, which is what games you need to buy on Black Friday 2017. Now, the unfortunate thing about Black Friday is that, it's changed a lot in recent years. I remember as a kid, when I was around 10 to 15, Black Friday was like you wake up at 6 and you try to get to the mall by 8 o'clock a.m., to get all your stuff before everyone else, and they would open the doors at 8 a.m., and that's how it's been for decades. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, somewhere around 2010, only, very recently, it started to be like, oh, now we're opening the doors at 4 a.m., we're opening the doors at 2 a.m., and now, the last couple of years, it's like, you gotta be at our store at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day.
Screw your turkey.
Yeah.
Screw your family. Screw your turkey.
We're starting it
Not only that, too,
January
but it's
1st.
become such overhyped and very, very commonly capitalized on holiday, where in general you will see prices rise for 2 months prior to that, and then you'll see them drop back down to their initial listing rise. It's being manipulated a lot. Where it was once a well-kept secret, people have now used it as a commercial force for both good and evil. I, for one, have never really been a big participant in Black Friday and have never really partook in it so much and felt it was always a little overblown. But no doubt that a new and purely kind of like 2017 version of Black Friday is beginning to take shape in the form of online retailers.
That's
Steam,
exactly
offering its leaf-all sales. The Cyber Monday, on like Tiger Direct and Newegg. It may become a thing where like the new big steals for Black Friday are appealing on your online retailers, and you don't even have to leave the comfort of your stinking chair.
That's right.
Your stinking
That's exactly
chair.
that is
There's
exactly
farts in it.
That's exactly what I was going to get into, because of course this is video game talk, and what are we going to tell you to get? Video games. And of course, yeah, Steam has already started their weekend long sale, and I think on actual Black Friday they'll go down a little bit more. So now the whole world is digital, and I think all these physical stores are gonna, they're gonna keep trying to compete for as long as they can. But really, if you're like me, and I don't know if you're like me and you're busy editing a 2-hour movie, but you can't leave the house when you.
Oh shoot! Is it really looking to be like it's gonna be like 2 hours long?
I don't know, maybe. I thought that first scene was gonna be like 2 minutes long, and ended up being 7 minutes long, and that's all I'm gonna say. So it's
okay.
Anyways, so I did the final cut of several scenes today, and that was one of them, and it ended up being a lot longer than I thought. So anyways, I'm not talking about that right now. I'm just talking about how I can't leave the house, and so Steam and Black Friday, that's what I'm all about. I don't have a whole lot of money, so Black Friday is really good for me because it means I can buy games that I've wanted to buy, and now I can buy them because they'll be really cheap. Starting off my list, the number one game to buy, and this is my suggestion. We'll take turns on suggestions. My number one pick. Actually, should we all start at our number 5 picks, actually? So
we should for sure start at number 5, because otherwise, why watch the stream, Richard?
All right, you're right. Sorry. You're right. I'm getting ahead of myself, and I'm getting excited. Okay, my number 5 pick for Black Friday is Super Mario Odyssey. It's Nintendo, so I don't think that they're going to really lower the price all that much, although some stores will maybe just eat they'll eat it, or whatever. They won't take the profit. I don't know how they calculate that. Whatever they'll do, they'll cut the price of Odyssey to get you into their store. And, of course, it's not on Steam, so that is a physical buy somewhere.
Should be on the Nintendo store, though, right? It should be available for download, correct?
Yeah, but it won't be cheaper on Black Friday on the Nintendo store.
No, absolutely not. I would not expect to see I would not expect to see Super Mario Odyssey drop a dime anywhere. To be perfectly honest, it makes no economic sense.
It's still a good buy on Black. It's like, well, I gotta buy a game on Black Friday, and you haven't gotten Odyssey yet, then just get it anyway.
I was gonna say, even at full price, Mario Odyssey is something truly special. So, Even in the category, I know Black Friday is about sales and about deals and about getting things cheap. I'm going to talk a lot about on like the great deals there. But there's no denying that Odyssey is well worth your time in any capacity. Maybe treat yourself. Even at full price, I think it's still well worth the money.
All right, your number 5 pick, Garrett.
Okay, my number 5, or I'm a PC guy, as most of you guys know. I really focus a lot on PC gaming. It's one of those things where it's like most of my recommendations are going to be entirely on PC and going to be Steam or Origin picks of some kind. So I'm going to start off with Witcher 3. Witcher 3 being one of the most worthwhile, very, very, very incredibly detailed, long, well-acted, detailed games of, the last 10 years. It's the standout RPG next to Skyrim in my mind of the last 20 years. The CD Projekt Red is a wildly successful developer that I think deserves everybody's money. Not to mention, on Steam right now, the Game of the Year edition, which includes all expansion packs, usually $50, which will get you well in excess of 120 hours of gameplay, all well scripted, all voice acted, all fleshed out in little details, is now down to $20. So check it out. I'm not exactly sure where those prices are at in terms of the console web stores and whatnot, but I will expect to see a price drop in some capacity for The Witcher Wild Hunt Game of the Year. Check it out on your respective console. If you are going to buy it for PC, keep in mind that it is a bit of a heavy hitter and does require a little bit more of a beefy rig to enjoy to its fullest extent. But if you've got the rig for it, $20 is a steal. And if you're not playing The Witcher, do yourself a favor. Check that out.
All right, Jackie, your number 5.
Well, I kind of have to change around my top 5 because I'm noticing that ours are pretty similar, just in different spots. So I don't want to spoil yours. So I'm just going to go with what you don't have, which is kind of a cop-out for this one. But there's a lot of classic games that are on the Steam sale right now that are 50, 75, 30, even 20% off, that are a great deal. You can, some of those indie games that are pretty good that you've heard about, give them a try. Maybe Cuphead's, I didn't check if Cuphead was on sale or not. It might not be because it's so new.
Ooh,
but
I can check it out right now.
Go.
I don't think it is either. But no, Cuphead remains $20, but I still think it's a bargain at $20.
$20 is great. And, $20, it's a pretty tough game. So, the cheaper it is, the better, because you might not finish it. But anyway, all the games, all those classics, all those indies, they're on sale right now. Some games that you haven't tried that you've wanted to try, give them a try. It's the Steam sale.
Awesome.
That's my number.
All right, my number 4 pick is South Park: The Fractured But Whole. Now, this got a lot of interesting press when it first came out for some of the glitches, especially with the PC version. I believe all of those were fixed.
Not all of them, but it's in a very playable state right now.
I got the game, as you know, pretty much right when it came out, and I played through the whole thing. I only had one glitch the entire game, and it was like a glitch that happened on the final boss. So I had to. That was a little annoying. I had to redo the final boss because right when I was about to win, I had to start over. But I only experienced one glitch, and I think that they've smoothed out a lot of that now. So okay, just forget about all the glitches. A lot of games have glitches. Most Fallout games have glitches. Bethesda has glitches. They're still great games. It's a great game. I do think it's better than The Stick of Truth. Even though it is a shorter game than The Stick of Truth, it's definitely worth buying. You can get it on Steam or consoles. If you haven't had a chance to get it yet and you're looking for something to get on Black Friday, maybe South Park.
Yeah.
Fractured But Whole.
Fractured But Whole on Steam is $45 right now, so that's
$45.
That's a little bit.
You're saving
that is down in price.
You're saving $15 right now. All right.
And if you're the kind of you know what? If you're the kind of person who's a little down on the shorter campaign, then guess what? Get it at a discount. This might be your last chance for a little while.
All right, your number 4, Garrett?
My number 4 is... Ooh, man, what is going to be my number 4? Okay, you know what? I will touch on... kind of obscure piece of hardware for my number 4. Everybody who wants to check out a kind of I wouldn't say it flies under the radar, but I don't think a lot of people appreciate it for what it's capable of. The Steam Link. The Steam Link.
Yeah, I wanted to get one of those, and I never did.
Garrett, please
I never
elaborate.
did. I've still got mine if you want to try it. But so the Steam Link is a little bit tough to set up. But the idea with the Steam Link conceptually is through a networking cable. It has to be hard cabled. You can actively stream the full power of your gaming rig in one room to a little box in another room that allows you to basically take the full power of your rig and stream it using network tech over to another room. It's a really, really, really good in concept sort of thing, but you got to run a physical cable for it. But if you're the kind of person who has it in a nearby room or where that isn't a problem, guess what? It's phenomenal because it saves you the trouble of having to locate another PC in another room where you might have it. And even then, if you do run it on Wi-Fi, it's a good little tool for getting the internet, for getting YouTube, for getting just broadcast devices in general up on your computer. So Steam Link, usually $50, down to a whopping $4.99 right now.
Whoa!
Yeah. Usually
Holy
$50, down to $5 on Steam right now.
$5 on Steam, so like you buy it on Steam and they send it to you or something?
Yeah, they ship it. They ship it to you.
We gotta get it.
So down to $5 on Steam. For $5 plus shipping, that's a great little piece of technology that is only going to get more relevant as networking comes around. I would say it's totally, if you're somebody with you have a garbage in-home network, virtually no internet speed, or you live in some giant house where you're where you have no networking capabilities, don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. Don't do it. Oh. But if you're somebody who thinks you have even the slightest possibility of getting a physical cable setup run, or you have some creativity on making this happen and you have another location that you want to stream games to, $5. You can take a gamble for $5. And it's a really, really cool piece of technology that I think is only going to get more relevant with time. Get it while it's good. That price is obviously intended to sell. Steam is probably going to be releasing more content with it specifically in mind, considering the fact that they're trying to sell so many right now.
Do you have that for your living room computer, Garrett?
Yeah, but I have a living room computer now, so I have the Steam box is just sitting out there now.
Gotcha.
Cool. Jackie.
Yeah.
Your number 4. We gotta keep moving right along.
My number 4 is PUBG, which is Player Unknown Battleground. And that's a great game if you don't already have it. It's only $30. It's not on the Steam sale. It might be, in the next coming of days. It's the Steam sale's till the 28th.
I don't think it's going to drop in price for a while, but at $30, it's well deserved.
Yep, just like Cuphead. You're gonna have a good time.
That's one of those ones you could buy at full price and be set.
That's all. Player. PUBG. Can't say it right.
Everybody, I would assume everybody in this chat has at least one friend playing PUBG. I would. That's the wildness of this game. So
My nephew's playing PUBG.
You don't even need to look hard to find people to play it with. Mm-hmm. So yeah, jump on that revolution. Hands down, you'll find someone to play with.
It's a lot of fun. I've only had a chance to play it a couple of times. I should probably play it more, but I should probably play a lot of things more. Anyway.
Yeah, it's really good. Get good, Scrubs.
we are now on to number 3. And my number 3 is if you don't already have it, and even if you already have it, get Skyrim. Skyrim on the Switch, Skyrim VR, on the Vive, on the PS4, on the PS3, on whatever. Just get Skyrim. If you've never played Skyrim,
get out from under your rock.
Please, get out. Just get on out of here.
Just go outside. Maybe you should go outside.
I don't know.
Maybe you should
get
a life
first. I can't believe that there are people calling themselves gamers that have not played Skyrim. Do yourself a favor and play Skyrim. Everyone. That is my human gift to you, is to tell you to play Skyrim. All right.
If you have already played Skyrim, I would suggest maybe Skyrim on the Switch, if you have a Switch, because it's so portable. You can play it sitting on the toilet. You can play it on car rides. You can play it on the bus. You can play it at...
Skyrim's a good time killer, and the Switch facilitates that pretty well. Also worth mentioning that Skyrim VR is not available for the Vive until next year.
What?
It's
PS4
PlayStation only? VR exclusive for the next couple months.
Wow. Oh, okay. See, that's what we were asking people about last time last week, and they were like, "Oh, it's coming out on both." I guess that they were wrong. So,
No, PlayStation VR exclusive for the time being, unfortunately.
Sony bought up those initial licensing rights. All right.
Correct, but we do get, early December. I've already got my pre-ordered copy of Fallout VR, so we'll see how that works out.
Awesome. All right, Mr. Allen, your number 3.
My number 3. I know I'm wasting a lot of time with my long answers, so I'll keep them nice and concise.
Brief.
Okay. If you are a fan of the action RPG genre, or are at all interested in the in just like sword play and combat in general, do yourself a favor and check out Shadow of War. Shadow of War is usually $60. It is down to $36 on the current sale right now. A very, very, very innovative Lord of the Rings. The best Lord of the Rings video game that has ever happened. Period. No contest. For starters. Wonderfully detailed. If you're interested in a kind of unique video game world where enemies that defeat you get stronger and level up to get bigger and badder, then check out Shadow of War and its very, very innovative combat system. Wildly cool sword fighting. Some of the best in any game you'll find.
All right. See, I played Shadow of Mordor, the first game, for, a couple hours. I thought it was okay, but...
Oh, really? I liked Shadow of Mordor a lot. No, Shadow of War is just the better version of that.
Wow.
All right, cool. All right, Jackie, your number 3. We're on 3.
My number 3 is the Nintendo version of Skyrim. Not the Skyrim Switch, but Breath of the Wild.
Oh.
And
I think Breath of the Wild doesn't have to live in Skyrim's shadow.
It doesn't. It's a great game on its own.
But it can live in the breath of Skyrim.
It can live in the breath of Skyrim. So, the Breath of the Wild is a great Legend of Zelda game that just, if you haven't played it already, it probably won't be on sale. But it's a good one. It's a good one.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Garrett was doing a little bit of the Breath of the Wild over there. I got some too.
Yeah, I was trying to time it with that joke, but I decided not to make it because I feel like I interrupt people a lot. So that's all right. Good.
So let's move
Breath
on.
of the Wild is so good, but everybody knows that at this point. We spent so much time talking about it, but there you go. We'll say it again. It begets saying again.
All right. All right, this one's a little bit predictable, but my number 2 game to get this Black Friday, and it might surprise some people that it's not my number 1. Number 2 is Star Wars Battlefront 2. The only reason why it's not my number 1 is because I think that it's kind of expected to buy Star Wars Battlefront 2, maybe a little bit. I don't know. I do love Star Wars, and if I didn't already have it, it would be my personal number 1. It's only my number 2 suggestion to you because I'm afraid that if I didn't put the game that I put on number 1, you guys wouldn't care. So I put Star Wars as my number 2, and that's pretty much we've already talked to death about, so we don't really need to talk about it anymore.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 has issues. It does.
Yeah.
Its progression system is a garbage fire. Okay, let's just be incredibly upfront with that. That being said, there's a lot of good here. And having just finished the campaign, whether or not you buy it or whether or not you play it or whether or not you watch some streamer on it on YouTube, it's going to be an important piece of Star Wars lore to keep your eyes on.
Yeah, and I think it is, last thing I'm going to say, but it is worlds better than 2 years ago, the first one.
Yeah,
so
it's not that again. None of those problems exist anymore. We've got other problems this time.
There is a campaign.
They
There's
fixed
a story mode. All right, your number 2.
Okay, my number 2 is it's not really that much on sale, but it really, really begets a good recommendation. I don't get the impression that a lot of you guys are like super duper big like Dungeons and Dragons RPG style fans, but I've really, really got to throw a bone to Divinity Original Sin 2. Usually $45 down to $40 right now, but for the amount of content you get, still a bargain at $40. If you want a game that recreates Dungeons and Dragons in the most faithful, exciting, meaningful way in the PC medium, go do yourself a favor and check out Divinity Original Sin 2. It is riveting from start to 160 hours later finish. With tons of wildly different options, some super, super interesting quest lines, and the ability to create a wildly different character and have a wildly different experience every single time.
Cool. I hope you were talking to them when you said that you didn't think that they were into Dungeons and Dragons. I'm like, I'm into Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I was talking to them, okay? Even though I think this game might be a little thick for you, too, as far as PC RPGs are concerned, you would like it. I am confident you would.
Awesome. All right, Jackie, you're number 2.
Well, because I was going on the fly with this because I didn't want to interrupt Richie's numbers, and I'm doing completely new ones. I'm going to go with Pokemon Ultra Sun and Pokemon Ultra Moon. If you've already played it, Pokemon Sun and Moon, maybe skip it if you're not the biggest Pokemon fan and you're not going for that collection of all of the Pokemon, which is me. But I would suggest, if you've never played it before, you didn't get Sun and Moon, get Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun because they're great and they've added some great new additions. Some things that I've had issues with from Sun and Moon are there, but if you're playing it and you're a casual Pokemon fan, you're gonna be like, this is the same exact game that I got last year at the same time. So, yeah.
Although our final review for Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon is coming soon.
It's coming, yes.
Anyways.
Yes.
We will
talk about this ad nauseum. But for the time being, obviously, Pokemon fans should have it on their radar.
Yeah. All right, then. We will move on to our actual number 1 picks. Like, I was going to start with this. What a waste that would have been. Anyways, so here it is. My number 1 pick, the game that you must buy because I want to see more games in this series and I want to see more games like this, and the only way that that's going to happen is if it does well, and this is a game that if you are into good games, then you should like. I know, let me just be a slight pretentious just for a second here. Listen.
Oh, for just a second guys. Here. Okay, got it.
I know I've mentioned this before, but here's the thing. This game only came out 2 weeks ago. And it was a $60 game. After Black Friday, it will continue to be a $60 game. Right now, it is $30 on Steam, and on Black Friday everywhere, it's going to be $24. You save $35 on Black Friday for buying, drumroll, Wolfenstein 2 by Bethesda.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say this.
Now, guys, I don't know what's more exciting. It's you are in the 60s in an alternate reality where the Nazis have won. You are living and fighting in Nazi-occupied America in the 60s. It doesn't really get any crazier than that. You're fighting giant Nazi robots and mechs and giant stormtroopers. You know, the Nazi kind, not the Star Wars kind of stormtrooper. And you know, just like all this fun chaos, and it's made on the same engine as the Bethesda's Doom, so it's got that really fast first-person shooter stuff going. It is an exciting and different game, and if you've played any of the Wolfenstein games, this is better than those, but it's also, if you're interested in just killing Nazis, it's good for that too. Technically, this is the sequel to the New Order that came out a couple years ago, but as everyone has said, you don't really need to play that to play this one. It is just an amazing, groundbreaking, game-changing game. And you need to get it. I told you to get it. Get it.
These are fire.
No, it's good. If you're into story-driven shooters and in a world where it feels like every single shooter is moving more towards a multiplayer-centric model, and we're just getting squeezed and squeezed and squeezed to see like good story-driven shooters, Bethesda's put out a pretty good one. It's not perfect, but boy is it fun. Yeah. Boy is it fun.
And at some point when I'm free, hopefully next week or the week after, when I get some free time, I'm probably going to stream like the whole story mode, like on here. Yeah. Well, not on here, on the Twitch probably, but soon.
We got lots to stream.
We got lots to stream, so many games to stream. All right, we go to Garrett, your number 1.
My number 1, not even necessarily, I mean, this is a game I find is very important, and I feel kind of bad because I feel like it lives in the shadow of Cuphead a little bit. But if you were a big fan of Cuphead or a big fan of just like the classic style, I guess Richie's gone. Okay,
I'm right here. Don't worry, I'm hearing everything you're saying.
If you're a fan of the action platformer and you're looking to revive or relive like good, tasteful, old school difficulty with a modern overhaul and really, really good responsive controls and modern art style, do yourself a favor and check out Hollow Knight for $10. It'll be the best $10 you spent. I swear to God, Hollow Knight is riveting from start to finish. It's very, very difficult and definitely one of those games that is polished down to a T. Little bit of consistency in the enemies, but every single zone that you go to, it's going to feel really different. Good experience from start to finish, and definitely one of those things that you can brag to your friends about afterwards. Beating Hollow Knight is no small task. And at $10, It's a great buy, and most importantly, it is a developer that is well worth the investment.
Awesome.
This continues my cascade of support indie developers, guys. Support indie developers. As we continue the conversation about greed in the gaming sphere, whatnot, remember that we gotta support the little guy as much as we have to be suspicious of the big ones.
And Garrett, you said it's just $10?
$10. $9.99.
It's a great deal.
It's a good one. All right, Jackie, your number one.
My number one was Wolfenstein 2, just because of the 50% off sale.
It's so good!
On Steam right now, they have all of the Fallout franchise 50% off or 75% off for the old ones. But you can grab Fallout 4, New Vegas. You
can get New Vegas and Fallout 3 for $10.
Yeah.
So
any of them.
Yeah.
Get them.
They're 50% off right now, and it's a great deal. We just went to Vegas for our honeymoon, or not our honeymoon, but our 3-year anniversary. And let me tell you, it was so fun seeing all the spots from New Vegas. It's pretty cool. So that's my number one, because Wolfenstein 1 was my first one, and I didn't want to step on Richie's toes.
And those were our Black Friday suggestions. So just, take those with whatever you want. Anyways, I
have three really super quick honorable mentions. And that is The Evil Within, which is a super riveting modern horror experience, down 50%, $30 right now. Super good if you're a fan of gory horror games. Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, awesome cyberpunk style action stealth RPG. If Metal Gear Solid and that whole kind of franchise really interests you, you should be paying attention to Deus Ex. That whole series is on a great sale right now. And then lastly, Stellaris. Stellaris has a specific Black Friday version that is releasing for $16, also well under its half price, and an immense amount of replay value there. Evil Within, Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, but really Deus Ex in general, Stellaris, all wicked good sales. All honorable mentions that didn't make my top 5.
Awesome. I wish I had honorable mentions, but I hadn't thought about it that far.
No, it's all good. I just had too many that I wanted to mention.
Now we have saved the last 15 minutes here to answer your live.
Oh, I have an honorable mention because it's free. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is free.
Yeah!
It's out now, and it's so cute. So you should get that because it's free.
Get it. All right.
Yeah, so I think we'll transition into our questions about kind of about people's video game questions right now and all that sort of stuff. I imagine we will have to discuss Stupid Mario before the end of the stream as well.
I'm gonna briefly talk about Stupid Mario Brothers at the very end of the stream, because we are going to have our official update stream, I think Friday. Which is okay. As far as everyone knows, the official release date for Super Mario Legacy is Saturday the 25th, this Saturday. And on Friday, the day before that, we're going to have an update for you and discuss everything and, get everyone on track and everything. Whoa, I hit you with the glasses.
Mm-hmm. Now there's a smudge on my glasses.
Anyway, so yeah, we'll get to that in a second. I guess I pretty much already said. We'll get to it again at the end.
Yeah, production's been a bit all over the place. We have a handful of things that are going way worse than expected, and a handful of things that are going actually way better than expected. So it just is what it is for the time being. We'll have a lot of info for you on Friday, but we'll talk about it really quick at the end. In the meantime, hit us with your video game questions. We want to know what, we'll give you an impression on things. Ask us how we felt about a game. If you've got the game you're most thankful for, hit us with it in the comments and we'll give you our impression about it. All that kind of stuff. What do you want to see more of? What are you hoping for 2017 as we enter into the new year? All kinds of cool stuff like that.
All those questions and more can be yours. Please
yes, exactly. I'm gonna start looking back on chat right now to see if I have a handful of questions to answer. We'll be doing this for about 15 minutes.
Min is Best Girl asked, do you like Odyssey? And I'm assuming she means Mario Odyssey. And as I've said many times on the show, I think that Super Mario Odyssey is the best Super Mario game since Super Mario 64. Now, I'm not including things like Mario Party and Mario Kart because I think Mario Kart 8, for example, is the best Mario Kart ever, especially the Switch version, but I liked it before that as well. But as far as a linear Mario platformer goes, we haven't really seen something of this caliber, in my opinion.
But keep those hands down. They're getting awfully close to my face.
Since Mario 64. So I really enjoyed Super Mario Odyssey. I did think that the main, to get to the end with Bowser and everything, I did think that was only like, 15 hours of gameplay? Like, I wish that it had been a little bit longer, but I mean,
there's a lot of moons to get.
Yeah, there's a lot of extra. So there's a ton of extra moons to get. You could spend 100 hours getting all the rest of the moons. What's up, Garrett?
Nothing. Now I'm waving my hands. Now I'm being visually disruptive. Oh no! Oh no! Ooh!
It wasn't the visually disruptive thing. It was that he was gonna hit me in the face again.
Garrett, I'm
see, I can't because I'm imaginary. I'm imaginary.
Garrett, I'm gonna let you answer the Knife Stalker's question. Who's your favorite hero and villain in Battlefront 2?
Yeah, that's a pretty good question. I really, really like the new girl. Verso is phenomenal in her presentation, and I love all of her cool little droid scan abilities. That's super dope. I don't want to cascade into story spoilers about her because obviously she's very central to the Star Wars plot that I think people should be experiencing for themselves. As far as who feels the coolest to play, I will say that I enjoyed playing Kylo Ren in that game way more than I thought I would. I was like all in on Vader and Palpatine and all that sort of stuff, and I have had just a shit ton of fun playing as Kylo Ren. All of his really cool abilities where he freezes people in midair and locks projectiles, and his force pull, super good. Also sound-wise, they did a good job really making his lightsaber sound distinct and whatnot. He, I think, is becoming my favorite guy to play multiplayer-wise.
Awesome. We got another question from Lucino Mo Studios saying, should I buy a 3DS/2DS or a Switch?
Switch.
Definitely a Switch. If you don't have either right now, then I definitely think you should get a Switch. The time, and Nintendo will kill me for saying this, but the time to buy a 3DS was 2 years ago. And
2 years ago.
Yeah, we're reaching that
The 3DS will continue to be relevant, but the Switch there's so much more potential.
We're going to start to see the trickle. I personally think that it was a mistake to have Ultra Moon and Sun on the 3DS, especially since they're basically just Sun and Moon with slight enhancements. But they could have been on the Switch. It's time to buy a Switch. All the greatest games from Nintendo, at least, that we've, they're all going to be on the Switch. Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8, ARMS, these are all great games. More games are coming. Get a Switch. There's no reason not to.
The Switch can be used as a 3DS to play your games on the go.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's what, the 3DS is meant for. So I think that there's some really great games for the Switch. There's also some great indie games that are now being ported onto the Switch, like Binding of Isaac.
Yeah.
Binding of Isaac, guys.
Garrett,
so great.
Live Like wants to know, what will you be eating this Thanksgiving?
I am, I'm going to be eating a whole regimen of traditional almost said high school. I don't know why I almost said high school. Traditional Thanksgiving food. But there's two things that I am particularly looking forward to. One, my mom, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Makes the best cranberry sauce of anybody on the planet, okay? She does it. Her cranberry sauce is so off the chain that it makes me weep, and my sister makes the most out of control cheesecake.
Oh man!
So
I got so much to say.
We gotta come to the Allen Thanksgiving sometime. Jeez.
Well, you gotta remember, my mom's birthday is the 25th, and my birthday is the 26th. So both of our birthdays are this weekend. So Thanksgiving has become very much also a birthday celebration for this family. It's always been that way, considering, where our birthdays have always fallen around Thanksgiving. So, as a result, the dessert and sort of birthday flair that gets added onto our Thanksgiving is very, very distinct, I think, at our family celebration. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Before my grandma died a few years ago, she was super Italian, and so our Thanksgivings were full of raviolis and Italian sausage, and she would make this really spicy pumpkin pie that nobody knows how to recreate, unfortunately, but it was really good.
That's fun.
And I have yet to have anything as good as my grandma's Italian cooking. People say they have the best Italian, but my grandma had the best. Maybe I grew up with it. I don't know. This today here with Jackie's mom, we had turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, the usuals. A little bit of it was all like
boxed and canned,
some
and
candy yams and things. And then tomorrow at my parents' house, we're having the exact same stuff, plus maybe some of my mom's famous broccoli casserole.
Your mom's on a diet. We're on a diet. Like, everyone's on a diet, so we're having like these paleo-esque Thanksgiving dishes.
I'm cheating a little bit for Thanksgiving.
We'll see how those are.
Yeah. Anyways. So yeah, it's all good. All right, we should probably answer more technical questions.
We should. I'm going to draw attention to Yoshi Lord's question. I know you touched on it earlier, but I'm looking for a little bit more detail on the fractured butthole. Handful of people, including Yoshi Lord, were feeling that the story content was a little bit weak. What were your thoughts on just kind of the way that game ended up working out?
Oh yeah, Yoshi Lord. I was going to get to your question. If you haven't played a South Park game, the Stick of Truth is probably the one that you want to play first. But I definitely recommend playing
100% sequel.
I definitely recommend playing the Fractured Butthole afterwards. It takes place directly after it, and stuff that happened in the Stick of Truth affects things that happen in the Fractured Butthole. Mm-hmm. It's like the storyline is only half as long as the Stick of Truth, and so that was the only disappointing thing for me. I would have liked for there to have been more side quests, but the overwhelming amount of DLC that they told us to expect means that we're going to be able to play so much more of this game later down the road. And I know that Garrett and I have talked to death about DLC in the past being bad and everything, but DLC works. No, I don't like day one DLC where it's like what EA does, where there's like, oh, here's all this, here's Vader and all this crap on the disc. The code is on the disc, but we're gonna lock it, so you have to pay to unlock something that's already on the disc. I don't like that. What I do like is after the game is released, they keep working on it and make new things that they release later. That's the good kind of DLC. And I hear Garrett clicking away.
As far as Fractured Butthole goes, I think that the storyline was great in Fractured Butthole. I really, really enjoyed it. I also am partial to superheroes more than, the D&D type of thing. But I absolutely enjoyed it. I thought, the whole storyline was great, and I didn't think there was anything lacking except that there was just less hours into the game than there was in Stick of Truth.
I give Fractured Butthole a solid 8.5 out of 10. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Fractured Butthole.
Yes, indeed. Bring back Inspector Gadget. Looks to be a little late on the stream. We were talking about Ultra Sun and Moon earlier, but we are. I'll just to answer their question real quick, so they don't feel neglected. We are getting Ultra Sun and Moon. Early premonitions. I think Jackie had the best detail on. I'll let you answer that real quick, Jackie. But yes, there is a full review of Ultra Sun and Moon coming from this channel at some point in the future. Correct?
We have to. Yes.
I am absolutely.
Yes, you're contractually obligated to.
I'm already playing Ultra Sun, and I opened it, started playing it, and it's like word for word the same as Sun and Moon, which they did that with White and White 2. Black and White and Black and White 2. But I never finished Black and White 2. But Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I've heard that there's some extras in there. And there's a new villain in there that shows up at the beginning, so there's a couple new things going on, but nothing's been affected too much storyline yet as far as I am into the game.
Yeah, full review coming soon. I don't want to say when because I'm so busy with everything else, but anyways.
Yeah, no, we'll get to it for sure. Legacy is obviously a giant thing to chew on in the meantime. It's no small feat, and I know you're working around the clock to get that thing accomplished.
All right, Karen, how about 2 more questions, and then I'm going to touch on Mario a little bit more.
Okay, cool. Unless you specify otherwise, I'm thinking we have a question from Blaze Gamer on The Last of Us Part 2, and we have a question from Tricky Tristan on StarCraft 2 going free to play. How about we nailed those 2?
All right. What was exactly the question about Last of Us 2?
Just the idea that we haven't seen a lot of... he's just asking us, are we looking forward to Last of Us Part 2? I would expand on that question further.
If it's as good as the first one, then yeah, I think that it'll be something that we should definitely look forward to. The original definitely set a new precedence for what we expect from horror and zombie and afterworld type situations, post-apocalypse, all that stuff. Obviously I love post-apocalypse when it's kind of funny, like dark humor, like Fallout. But Last of Us was definitely an interesting and different game, and I am looking forward to the second one. I hope it's just as good or better.
Yeah, I'm simultaneously. I mean, we haven't heard much about it. Is kind of where I'm at on the thing, and sometimes that's a great thing. It means the developer is being a developer. They got their heads in the books, and they're not worried about delaying their production schedule to put on demos and whatnot. Obviously, getting ready for E3. I was expecting to see something about it at E3 this last year, and we saw pretty much nothing. But, preparing an E3 product and whatnot obviously derails a production studio from its main task for a long, long time. So I'm okay with it in this case. I'm pretty confident The Last of Us Part 2 will be pretty great. But in the meantime, it's one of those things, if you don't hear anything about a project for a while, you start to get a little suspicious of exactly where it's at creatively, especially considering we've seen so many big projects go weird places creatively recently. But I remain hopeful, Blaze Gamer. I think Last of Us Part 2 will not disappoint, and I think we will see that it holds its ground. Hopefully it just doesn't have to live in the shadow of the original.
Yeah. Hey, don't announce your game too early, Square Enix.
Yeah, Square Enix. Talking to you, Square
literally
Enix.
Every game ever that they've announced. Jeez. All right.
Yeah, right. Like 5 years early, sort of like hype train. Obviously, we're no closer to really knowing like what the hell Kingdom Hearts is going to be and whatnot. Who knows? But anyway, any more thoughts on that, or should I move on to StarCraft 2?
What about The Last Guardian? Was that the one that was the 12 years in the making?
Oh, The Last Guardian, yeah, that took like 10 years to make, and then it was 12 years to make, and I thought it was okay. So
it was pretty. And it was meaningful, and it was artistic.
I liked it.
Conversely,
yeah, who knows?
I am an animal lover now.
Duke Nukem Forever took 15 years to make, and that was a steaming pile of crap. So,
yeah, that was the Great American Garbage Fire.
So, anyways, right, last question.
Last question. StarCraft 2 going free to play. StarCraft 2 going free to play, I think, is a phenomenal thing. To be perfectly frank, more people should be playing StarCraft 2. In order to franchise to succeed, it needs a large base of multiplayers, or people on the multiplayer servers. It needs people investing time and getting good. And if it's ever going to return to its former glory that we saw in the Wings of Liberty, late Brood War days, then I think the free-to-play model works phenomenally. I think the game has progressed to a point where it can live off, cosmetic-only microtransactions, which are totally just and well-versed, especially after its game's rich history. It maintains to have a riveting single-player experience, and I don't know. I honestly cannot find a reason for it going free-to-play being a bad thing. All my friends have got StarCraft 2 now. Am finally, and it's caused a big, revival of it. So I have nothing but good things to say about it going free-to-play. I think that was an excellent decision on Blizzard's part.
Yeah, definitely love me some StarCraft. Now, so that's all the questions. I will say there was something that was just Jethrin Waters Music just said, did anyone hear about that Mario movie with Illumination? Dude, there's an entire video all about that right here on this channel. So when you're done...
We talked about that. Yeah. We talked about that a lot during this last video game stream. We did hear about it. We have some thoughts on it. Go check out that last video if you want them in detail.
Yeah, it's like the last video on the channel, maybe. Yeah, so when you're done here, go to that. Anyways, yeah. So, I'm just going to touch on Mario a little bit more. Again, I can't, it's funny to me how many people over the last month or two have asked me when the release date for Stupid Mario Legacy is, because it literally says at the end of that big trailer that, again, it was like a month ago or something, the big Stupid Mario Legacy trailer, the very last thing it says is coming November 25th. Do people just not watch till the end of the trailers anymore? I don't understand. Do they forget and don't want to go back? Just watch the trailer again. Come on, guys. Anyways, but having said that, I am balls deep in editing it right now.
Wow.
I mean, I always, put out, these release dates, and I'm like, yeah, I can make it, and then it's like, oh, damn, because part of it is like, I'm so like, when I get into editing of something this complicated too, I like to spend way too much time editing it and making things look really nice and sound really nice, and I get really into the nitpicky things, and I re-edit scenes, and anyways, I'm just saying it's been a time, and we are going to have an entire update video all about Stupid Mario Legacy, Super Mario Animated, Super Mario Future, all of that good junk. We are going to be talking all about that at some point live on Friday, to be determined as soon as I figure out what my day looks like that day. But Garrett and I will be on there, and we're going to talk all about it.
Yeah, I'll be here too.
Yeah.
I'll be here too.
And yeah, so just keep your radar on for a live video on Friday at some point for Stupid Mario info. Yeah, so there you go. Anyways, that's it for Video Game Talk. Gary, you got anything else you want to say?
No. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Looking forward to, for everybody. I know there were a lot of Stupid Mario questions in chat today. Sorry to ignore you guys, but, you know, obviously we have to make a certain amount of effort to keep our video game show about video games and our Stupid Mario show about Stupid Mario. So I invite and implore every single one of you who have Stupid Mario related concerns, questions of any kind to come join us Friday, probably in the evening. For that. If you cannot make it, please join us on the Discord. The Discord is a place where you can get your questions answered in real time, pretty much any hours of the day, by either myself or Richie. I personally moderate and run the Discord. So that's all good. And I guess lastly, my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/the complaint department is going live, like literally as soon as this video closes out.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask real nicely if Jax would drop the link in chat, but I'll deal with that in a second. So if you guys want to play some Jackbox, or if any of the new Jackbox party games sound fun to you, come join me on my Twitch channel immediately after this.
I can do it on my phone.
Well, you probably won't be able to do it fast enough because we are out.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. Yeah, go to twitch.tv/the complaint departments for some good old fun. And I mean, that's it. I mean, you could go to twitch.tv/RichAlvarez Games, although I'm not streaming anything on there tonight because I am nose deep. Now I was balls deep. Now I'm nose deep in editing.
You're just sinking.
I'm just all kinds of deep
So
in
those
editing
balls?
right now. Anyways,
You're stuck in some side of Eldritch Cthulhu horror that has consumed your entire body. All right, that's really cool.
Best of all, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and even if you are subscribed, don't forget to hit that little bell on the right side of the subscribe to turn notifications on, so that way you get us every time. All right, guys, I'm Rich Alvarez.
I'm Jax Alvarez.
I'm Garrett Allen.
And thank you for watching Video Game Talk. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.